This is BoxingFirstVlog, and I would like to let the current fighter on the other end introduce himself and tell the world who you are, what your record is, and what's going on with you right now.
Well, yes, my name is Tureano Johnson from the Bahamas. As I'm a professional boxer, I have a record. I think don't keep track of that all the time, but I think my record is 22-2 with 1 draw and 15 knockouts, if I am correct. And I'm back home here in the Bahamas, getting ready to step back into the ring pretty soon.
All right, sounds good, First question I wanted to hit you with is it may be a deep one as far as your losses are concerned. Which one sticks in your craw the worst? Is it the first one or the last one?
So, yes, of course, I had 2 losses, and I really can't label them, but I must say my very first loss was one that impacted me a lot. It was one that I felt, I wouldn't say it was an unfair one. It definitely wasn't one that I could say went in the fair direction.
I appreciate that honesty, and I kind of agree with you on that one, just due to the role that you seem to have been on at that time, and you ran up against a sturdy vet. And just a rebound question on that, would you try to avenge that loss at some point?
Well, definitely anybody would like to make up for, the loss that they've received. But at this time, I don't think it makes sense for me to step back into the ring with Curtis Stevens. More so due to the fact that, Curtis Stevens isn't active at the moment. If he decides to get back into the ring, oh, yes, man, most definitely, and make it back up into the rankings, man, that is a fight that I definitely would look into. But no doubt, Curtis Stevens is a good friend of mine. We both trained with Andre Rozier. In fact, my 2 losses came by the hands of the coach, Andre Rozier. And I guess it was an ironic move to make, knowing that my only 2 losses came from the very coach who's coaching me now.
Wow, that's ironic. That really is ironic. Now that you're back and you're active and you're definitely coming off what I would call an upset victory, what world champ do you think you could beat right now in your division?
I just was talking to my wife and my mom and my dad, and I'm telling them, listen, I really wish I knew what I knew now had I known it back then. And knowing what I know now, oh, my God, who is there that I can't beat? There is nobody out there. Tureano can get them all, and I'm telling you, Tureano is versatile. I've learned how to move, and I've learned how to jab. It is a sad state to be in, but hey, I'm blessed, and I've always been told that Tureano, you're a late bloomer. So I guess being a late bloomer has its advantage. So right now I'm ready, and I'm able to take on all the best fighters out there and beat all of the best fighters out there, all of the champions.
I see that you are a road warrior. Now, if you had the opportunity to have a big stage there in the Bahamas, what style fighter would you pick? Would it be a cupcake or would it be a contender?
It definitely would be the fight back home here in the Bahamas.
Yeah, if you were, the main card, you're the guy, obviously you at home, what sort of fight would you pick for the fans? Would you pick a cupcake, somebody you could dog walk, so to speak, or would you get a fan something that's sort of a 50-50 type of fight?
Well, definitely I would love to give the fans a 50-50 fight. But then again, I would love to be the victor in that fight. And so I could even give you a name right now that I think you guys could jump for right away. I'm looking at Jamie Munguia. I think that would be a great fight. Jamie Munguia, he is a world champion at 154, moving up to 160 pounds. But he's an action-packed fighter. He comes to fight.
Yeah. He fought Spike. He fought Spike on Dazan just late last year at Spike O'Sullivan at 160, right?
Yeah, he fought Spike O'Sullivan at 160, and I think he fought Hogan at 154. I don't think either of those guys should have been in the ring with him. Those guys ain't even on the caliber of fighter that I am. So for the matter of fact that he was able to step into the ring with those guys, it showed that, they were really just easing him into the 160 pounds. But I think it's time for him to step up. If they want a real test at 160 pounds, Tureano is right here. We're both with Golden Boys. We need to make that fight happen.
Okay, that sounds like fighting words to me. And that kind of leads me into this last question I want to ask you. And it's a little bit about the Bohemian boxing history. And is it a tight-knit crew that it seems to be from me doing my homework? Being as though you guys not really known for representing as world champions, do you guys stick together? Are you guys known to each other?
Well, Kimbo Slice, he had a little bit of a boxing history besides him doing the MMA and the street fighting. Kimbo Slice, he was a good friend of mine.
Yes, sir. It's one of the names I got down. Got you.
Yeah, we have Sherman the Tank Williams, who's the former heavyweight champion. He was a top contender, Sherman the Tank Williams, at the heavyweight division. In fact, he fought Holyfield. We got Edna Cherry. He's been doing a phenomenal work down there in the States, from Edna Cherry. I'm telling you, he's a great fighter as well. And then, when
Tuesday Night Fight guy.
Say that?
He's a Tuesday Night Fight guy. I remember watching him a couple times on Tuesday Night Fights.
Yeah, Edna, that's my boy, man. That's my boy. And then, you got back closer home to the local, the guys that who really reside here in the Bahamas. You got Misha Major. He was a lightweight fighter. More of a Caribbean champion and a regional champion. And you have Jermaine Chukwumaki. I think Adonis Stevenson.
Chukwumaki there. Got his name right here. Okay. And what about Steve Lamore? Is it Lamore? Lamore? Is he well known? He's kind of an older guy, from back. I think I pulled him up. He was like a 60s fighter.
Larry Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve, Larry Moore. Yeah, he works at the boxing gym back here in the Bahamas. Freeman Barr, he was also a well-known fighter back there in Florida. But, we have a lot of fighters, but one fighter that stands above us all is Elijah Obed. He is the only world professional boxing champion the Bahamas has ever produced. And hats goes off to him. He had passed away just 3 years ago now. Yes, Elijah Obed, he was the WBC world champion. He won the title in 1975. 1975 or between 1972 and 1975. Oh, no, sorry, 1973. Yeah, that was when the Bahamas was still under the British colony. Yeah, so it was 1973. Elijah Obed won the WBC world title.
I'm glad you know your history from your homeland, man. That's appreciative of me.
Well, I have boxing in my blood, and in fact, one of the history fighters in the Bahamas is Ray Miners Jr. He's actually a cousin of mine. He was the British Commonwealth champion, as well as he was the Commonwealth champion, and in fact, he fought for the world title against Happy Laura. Yes,
man, we getting a lot of history right here from Mr. Johnson right now. I'm appreciating all of this.
Yeah, man. You have to do it. I'm not just a boxer. I'm a boxing fan, and I do my best to educate myself on boxing. And pretty much generally all sports, but boxing is where, I put my life in, my hard work into all of my studies. You can box, you can go into the ring, and you can do all of that, but really to retain the information, and the knowledge when it comes to boxing history, numbers don't lie. So when you put that together, you can become, one of them, an historian, and that's why I'm focusing on directing my expertise into the history of boxing and sports in the Bahamas.
Okay. One last quick question, and I'm going to let you get on up out of here. We know we don't want to take too much of your time. We understand you in training. What are your aspects after boxing?
Well, definitely. Boxing is just another step forward to doing what I want to do. I'm from the Bahamas. I love the sea. And I love the sea. Definitely, I love commentating. I love speaking. I don't know, you said you don't have any more. If you give me the mic, I'm not going to give it back. I'm worse than Michael Jackson. But I want to go into the waters. I want to go into the boating business. I want to go into the fishing business. And that's where I'm at the moment, because that's a passion. My wife, she's, believe it or not, she's a backyard home farmer. You know, she's a professional salesperson, but she's home doing her farming, and that's the kind of lifestyle we live. So we want to pretty much do more of a farming, fishing kind of lifestyle. And back home here in the Bahamas is where we want to make it possible. So fishing and farming is where I'm directed right now.
Sounds like a wonderful future plan, and I'm pretty sure the people in the region appreciate you.
Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Tureano Johnson. You know, you guys can always hit me up, man.
All right, man. Again, I appreciate that, man. You be safe down there, and we look to see you soon in the ring, Tam.